In this course, you're going to learn textile designing. What are the basics of textile designing? How to develop print designs, how to develop embroidery designs. So initially, I'm going to introduce to a topic called as textile motifs, symbols, and their meanings. So what is a motif? A motif is a single design unit that is used to create a textile design. For example, you can use a motif to create a border design for embroidery or for a woven in design, or you could use a motif to create all over design on a fabric. The term motif refers to a design or a figure that consists of recurring shapes or colors, as in architecture or decoration. So you might be aware of the art elements and the design principles, and the way you're going to use the art elements like lines, forms, shapes, color, and texture to create a garment design, and by following a certain set of principles of design. So similarly, you're going to use these art elements and apply the principles of design to create a motif. There are four basic types of motifs: natural motifs, abstract motifs, geometric motifs, and stylized motifs. So I'm going to describe in detail what each and every type of motif is and how the motif design is developed using a theme or an inspiration in the upcoming lessons. Varied patterns found on textiles are often symbolic, based on religious and cultural background, steeped in the belief that the symbols used in motifs will ensure fertility or prosperity, protection from evil spirits to the wearer, or the patterns are linked to religious beliefs. A motif is most basic unit or the smallest unit of a repeat pattern. Motifs are repeated in different ways to create patterns, and these patterns are repeated to create a design. Motif has a distinct identity of its own in a pattern or a design. So as I said earlier, motifs help you to establish a certain mood for your design collection. For example, if you're designing a leisure wear or a night wear, you could use a fabric design like this one. This has a very casual feel to it because it has the prints of the coffee mug and the words coffee printed on it. On the right hand side, you can see a very classical looking motif, and it has a symbol in the middle of it, and this motif is in radial symmetry. I'll explain to you what is radial symmetry and the different kinds of the balance that you can create in a motif in the upcoming lessons. So here the motif is inspired by a lotus, and it has a very classical looking symbol in the middle of it. At the bottom you can see a fabric swatch with an all over design on it, and by the look of the colors you can make out that it is very exotic. It's actually a African design, a batik painting method which has been reproduced as a print design here. On the right hand side you can see some motifs which look like the Warli design, and this gives a very tribal feel to it. And these kind of motifs you might have commonly seen in pure silk sarees or tassa silk sarees in the form of print design or embroidery design. You could use some symbols which have a deep meaning as a motif. The meanings of symbols may vary from region to region or from culture to culture, but overall there is a common sutra that ties them all. So here you can see a swastika symbol, which is a very auspicious symbol in India, whereas it has a totally opposite meaning to Germans or the Nazis.